Wheeler, you can't keep this up. Your card game too strong. Your deck's smoked out too good. Your mana face too goated. And all that jazz. Alright. Let's play some of this. Oswan Jaguar? That's not a real magic card. That is a Prism magic card. We don't fuck with that. But nice try. So this is a draft that we did yesterday. We tried to cheekily sneak in an extra round. It's a red-black, heavy on the removal, but with enough disruption and like some reanimation cards that we can ideally fight against the unfair decks as well. We got Mana Vault, we got Mana Crypt, I got Entomb, I got Mind Twist, so we got some, you know, power and power adjacent kind of cards running around. We are 1-0 currently. Let's keep doing it. Yeah, this deck is very funny because it's like simultaneously just like, you don't want to be on a creature deck when I run into you with this. But also, I have like a dragon and Flame Tongue Kavu and Wormcoil Engine. There's a chance this Wormcoil Engine should be like Gaunty or Makeshift Mannequin or Bitter Triumph. But it's kind of a cool card to persist, right? I'm against my opponent Power Bottom. I'm going to keep this hand because we have Ragavan, a Deep Cavern Bat, and a Mind Twist. Oh, well, I lose the Ragavan war here. Unless we draw our Burst Lightning. Fire Covenant. Surging Sentinels? Surging Sentinels. I think that's the, like, artifact creature. Can't remember. I will, yeah, I'm going to offer the trade. Goblin Engineer, okay. Are people liking this version of the cube? I like it. It's vintage cube, but it has enough unique kind of changes to it, and I feel like those changes pop up with a frequency that is not annoying, but also, you know, like you can feel the added flavor of some of these cards. Deep Cow. Okay, well, I'm a little scared of this Emrakul, but I'm more scared of this FTK. At least right now. They're Goblin Engineered for a Palantir, and they don't have anything. That Emrakul's really scary if they drop like a sneak attack or a Through the Breach or whatever. They currently don't have that. And if we're really worried, we can Mind Twist them. That's a new magic card, right? Oh shit, I X'd the wrong. They have a Zeotora's Proving Ground. We did know about that card. I did hear that Direct Challenge was fixed. I'd be interested in playing some Gladiator on Magic Online now. I'm just playing this and attacking. I don't know why they didn't attack me. They're probably not producing an artifact. Excuse me. We're also splashing for Comet, which is why we have Plateau in our deck. Vintage Cube Baja Blast. Uh-huh. Okay. Go to Mountain Cycle. Comet Stellar Pup. Ooh. Their hand is Zeotora's Proving Ground, Emrakul Unknown. They're probably cycling the Proving Ground. I could have actually, maybe it's better not to FTK here and just Mind Twist them. Because if they go land sneak attack, it's pretty bad. Or land through the breach. Yeah, that Flame Tongue Kavu was probably too bad. Probably not enough upside of doing this. But if they have nothing, then launching off this Mind Twist is pretty hot. You gotta admit, it's pretty cool. They could also like fire a removal spell at the bat and then I'm just gonna go all in. On the off chance that they have something that like gets this Flame Tongue back in their hand, but also just like replaces itself. I can't actually think of a card that does that, but maybe there is. Mountain Beseiju, Emrakul. Okay. So they get to shuffle in these cards back into their deck, which means that they can draw a Ragavan and raid. Or not raid, dash. No, they're done. They're off it. Okay. They have Emrakul, which is a little scary. Could take like a Gaunty. Gaunty is occasionally pretty good against these kind of decks. But like, we have some hand attack. Maybe I just send it back. Worm Coil feels like it's not doing too much against this, but Gaunty can maybe disrupt them a bit. I did not get as much sleep as I wanted last night. Mostly because I wanted to... Ooh, well... This needs another land. I'm gonna keep... We can Fury. We can turn one Deep Cavern Bat with Fury. Yeah, we can. Yeah, there's not really that many good artifacts in cons. Also, just like any, or that. We can Orb on turn one. Ooh, yeah, to hell with the bat. I'm gonna Orb them. I mean, Fetches and Treasure Cruise chunk, they feel pretty strong. They like always mill the first time because you just don't want to give me a new card. It'll be, I mean, if you want me to draw a card, I'll draw a card. All right. Macabre Aurora, welcome back for the 32nd month. Arbitrary number of months times. Looks like Yi and Hawes are back on the menu. Maybe they never left. Thank you for the 32 months. Glad to have you. Good to see you. You can't do... Okay, you can't do Laura Croft. That's a brand new card. Although I appreciate the gumption, Flapjack. Oh, I forgot to tell you what Comet does. Hold on. Laura Croft is too new. We need a rule where, like, for the Stump the Wheeler, it can't be like it has to be at least one set cycle. I know it's a 3 mana 3/4 with like reach and trample or something, maybe haste and reach, and it you escape artifacts or so. There's some shit that happens. Comet, well, it's a 2 red and a white for a 5 loyalty card. You can pay 0 and roll a 6-sided die. And I think it's like 1 to 2. I'm going to play this bad. Show me what you got. Am I actually getting rid of this? Am I worried about what you have? Oh. Fuck. Well. Yeah, I'm a little worried about what you got. I gotta take that Mitskaboo. Do I need to? Well, yeah, you know what? I'm going to keep this Comet. I think this Comet is high value if we manage to draw it. Card's good enough then. I'll take a 2 for 2 here. And then Dragonflare for the 32nd month. Yeehaw, am I on Oki today? No, I'm taking a break from Street Fighter 6. Yeah, I don't have enough time to actually dedicate. Oh, that's kind of funny. I don't have enough time to actually dedicate to like playing the game. It's kind of awkward, right? Like, for something like that, I'm, you know, I can make a differentiation between like being competitive and being not competitive. But if I do want to get better, this is kind of rude. If I do want to get better, I need the time to be able to get better, and I don't have the time. And so it's kind of frustrating to just like be like, I can't actually dedicate time to getting better at this game that I would like to. Oh, got a case of the, oh, never mind. I was gonna say we got a case of the run bats. Oh, I can't cast it. Fuck. Right, it's oh. I'm not blocking with this. This is really, actually, why did I do that? Why did I fucking do that? Oh, why did I do? I meant to put one of them on the bottom, and then I was like, put one on the top. I'm like, why am I doing that? Then I put the other one on the top and went like, why the fuck am I doing that? I'm not dead, but that was enough of a dog shit play that I might just be dead. Can you tell that I'm a little exhausted? Can you tell that I'm a little... Now they have their own orb. My opponent has Emrakul. No. But I'm gonna let them dome me out a little bit. I made a big mistake with that top. Oh, I did top bottom. Oh no, they Ragavan my Gaunty. That's what they did. Right. Okay. Well, we drew this fucking card. Okay. Ragavan fixed my oopsie. Sick orb on orb action. Yeah, unfortunately we haven't really drawn a land here. I kept a slightly risky opener with plenty of plays if our, you know, our 18 land deck effectively with the Oliphant drew one of our other lands, and then we didn't. But the game's not over. They could just be bricking here. Don't know what's in their hand. I can't trade this for this because this card actually kills me. Oh. There's the big boy. Like a red source is pretty... Yeah, I don't care about that. A red source would be good. A black source would be good because then I can, from the catacombs, my own fury. Yeah. Oh, God, that was a sneeze. Holy smokes. Yeah, you can draw a card. It does keep me off, you know, the potential Liliana your hand, but, you know. Land? Oh, fuck off. Well, I can IOK. I can IOK the monkey at least. And an FTK? Oh, am I just dead? I think I'm just dead. Yeah, I'm just dead. I have to hope that they mill me for some reason. But they can 4 FTK my thing. Actually, hold on. If I draw a red source, they FTK my Deep Cavern Bat. Presumably, they're going to hit a land off the Sylvan Library. We could kill them. They FTK my Deep Cavern Bat. They play Minsc and Boo. They hit me for 4. I draw a mountain, and then I play Mana Crypt or Mana Vault, and then we cast a Tali and we hit their Emrakul. That's my thought. I think it's doable. Chances are I should have just played this Mana Vault too. I kind of like hiding this Mana Vault, but hiding the Mana Vault, does that do much if they already know I have Mana Crypt? Maybe. Maybe it incentivizes them to play more artifact destruction. But I imagine Palantir and Crypt already do that. Yeah, maybe it was unnecessary. But we do have an out. We have a way of killing our opponent. We do need to draw a mountain. And we've milled 2 of our mountains, and we're primarily a black deck. But I believe in our ability to get so fucking lucky it makes my opponent throw up. We can do this. Yeah, draw a card, power bottom. Oh, and we have to win at least one of these flips. So we lost that flip. Come on, mountain. Persist. That doesn't do it. Well. Do I just run it back? Minsc and Boo is kind of scary. I'm going to just run it back. I could bring in, like, Pia and Carrot and Alar. They're pretty good against Minsc and Boo. It's good against Ragavan. Oh, I'm keeping this. Cut. What? Hey, chat. Hey, cut, fact, or F? Wait, what? Bitter Triumph. Yeah, I'm not as high on that card unless I'm like really into the reanimation stuff. We have a turn 1 orb, which hopefully goozles them a bit. I could have kept that Mind Twist. Oh, they milled my fucking plateau. Could have gone land on top Mind Twist and then twist them for 3. I don't know if I want that though. You got a Darcy. So it begins. Take this Liliana. Oh, they just took 4. Okay. Is Plateau the only white source? No, we have treasure tokens. We have Inspiring Vantage. We got other ways. Inspiring Vantage would be a good draw. There's a bunch of stuff that we could draw here that'd be pretty strong. That's not one of them. But it's I mean it's not bad. It lets us calm it. We do need to draw a red source though. I have black. Do I want grief? They're gonna mill for 3. I guess I do this. This card's always very interesting because, like, if I keep something on top, am I keeping it on top because I'm going to mill you? Like, I'm going to dome you out? Or am I keeping it on top because Like keeping him on top because I want you to mill it and take a bajillion damage. Oh, well, if they shock themselves, like we might just kill them here. Depends on what this last. Why would you shock yourself to do this? Do you have a follow-up play?
And that's no regular monkey. His name's Wheeler. He's a trained duelist.
Power Flapjack, thank you for the 300 bits. I'm thinking of making a Dark Souls themed cube with everyone locked into Prismatic Piper alike for their commander. What legendary equipment would I use as the Moonlight Greatsword? Ooh, legendary equipment as the moon. Like World Slayer looks the most like that. But I don't know if World Slayer is not legendary. But it's also, holy fuck. Am I just doing this now, or am I taking? I can take two again. So they can't mill me, right? They just can't mill me anymore. They die. I want Gaunty. I don't really want Gaunty, but I'll take another red source. Blamdring would work. Yeah, I forgot that all the Lord of the Rings ones. And we can look. There's like Tatsumasa, but that's not really... Like, I guess, do you want it to aesthetically look like it? Oh. Enderil Narsil Reforged. It's pretty good. Minsk and Boo, Timeless Heroes. On Okioki today? No, I'm taking a break from Okioki. This is like the third week that I'm just not playing Street Fighter anymore. Okay. Okay Doke Fight Club. As one fancy robe, thank you. It's very, yeah, this is fine. It's very comfy. I'll play Tekken. Yeah. I would play Tekken. Okay. Tekken. I'd play Tekken 8. Yeah. It's just, Street Fighter 6 is not... It's a combination of I don't really have the time to, like, play it and try to get better at it. And when I do technically have time to do it, there are other things that I would rather prioritize, because either they benefit me more or I enjoy them more, you know? Yeah, opponent had a sense of hero. Collab tag is still on? I am collaborating. Look at me collab. I'm collaborating with my opponent. I said, hey, opponent, you want to help me out here and, you know, get that extra 2 points of damage off the table? And they're like, yeah, for sure, Ben. Thanks so much. And the rat's here. Wow, I get to go first. I'm mulliganing this. We were on the draw for the entirety of our last draft, and for the first two matches of this one, I believe. This kind of stinks. This one, on the other hand. So, what do I want to put back? I get to keep one of these. I mean, going Palantir into Grief is kind of hot, but Fury is just, like, so broken. I don't want to get stuck with Fury in my hand. I think Grief is, like, always good, so I could just do this. Or I could do this. Because then this lets me find the second red for Fury. Or this lets me find Plateau for Comet. But I think I like the black package. I think I like this. And a crit. And if they have Force Will, this is obviously just like not great for us. But they didn't. Orb. I don't want to mill either of these. I'm collaborating with Rathew. It's what everybody's wanted. People are always asking me like, yo, Ben, when are you going to collab with that rat? And I'm just like, what are you talking about? I am collabing with the rat. I am collabing with the rat. Yeah, take 6. Put a reanimation card in my deck. Or in my graveyard. Although that's not the best reanimation target. It's okay to persist. Like, persisting, that's not bad. Also, in general, like, throughout life, it's okay to persist. In fact, I'd recommend it. I'm good at drawing Mana Crypt. Thank you. I mulliganed to 5 twice. Oh, that's... Well, I could grief them. I kind of want to see what you're doing. What you got going on here? What you got going on here? This Chupacabra, I don't have high hopes for Chupacabra in the top Restless Spire. Oh, yeah. The Shark's pretty good. EI. Academy. Shark gets Academy really going. I think I want to take the Shark. I mean, EI is such a good Magic card. Shark does start to kill me and does start to do stuff. Shark plus top is also just like kind of a combo. I'm going to take Shark. It is pretty funny that we can, like, we could try to Atali and they can top. I don't want either of those cards milled. Damn, they're at 5? So now they can't do it anymore. They can't set up the orb. So we're just drawing a card off orb now. I guess it makes sense for them to not want me to draw cards off this orb because I was so low on cards, right? I'm mulliganed to 5. Talisman. Did you draw another card? Oh, you got one on top. You gonna tinker me? Oh, you're just playing another Talisman? You're getting your Academy set up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. They're not at a Tally mana yet, unless they have another land. I think they actually have another land. So we can, like, set them up to play a card that's not great. But they can also set up to play a card that's not great. Do I want them to cast Ragavan? Yeah, kind of do. Get to draw a mountain. But they're tapping out for the top, right? They draw top, play top, because it goes neutral with Academy. But they can always flip top, but then that's okay. I think I don't hate having a flip top. They might not play the top, they might just brick on it. They might brick on it going neutral. They might not even want to Atali this turn. Who knows? It's funny that them having top sets up their Atali, but it makes our Atali a lot less enticing. Prismatic Piper alike. I mean, the Prismatic Piper does just kind of look like the Chosen Undead in a way. Like, it's a very... It has that, like, nebulous kind of form where it looks like it could. So they played top. They're going to cast their Italy. I'm going to get my Ragavan. Hopefully they don't get like a Time Warp or something big on their end. They're at 5. I mean, I can draw... Oh, they flipped their Atali. They flipped their top. What? So they're just going to Atali into their top? That seems not good. Unless they know the other card on the top of their deck and they really don't want it. I mean, I guess this doesn't matter because it just puts the top into play. Instead of just getting a random card. I'm very confused. Very confused. Italy. Excuse me, baby. They might not want to give up their top. But I'm very confused about this line. Right? Like, wouldn't you already had top in play? Wouldn't you just get a free thing? Now I get your top? Which they seem to care about. Ooh. Well, Liliana. I'm gonna cast top. Cast Lily. I need to edict my own monkey. And then, yeah. We have to find some damage. We just have to find some damage. Unfortunately, 2 of our big damage dealers are in the graveyard. 3 of them, in fact. This is a way to push damage. We have Burst Lightning. We could draw. We could draw some stuff. Are you thinking about sacking Atali? Do you have like a time spiral and they want to rebuy the Atali? This is a little confusing to me. My opponent's making some decisions and I'm a little confused as to why they would either take them or take long on, you know, figuring it out. Persist is a great draw. So I'm going to bottom that. I'm going to top Persist. Yeah, it's 1. So they could like potentially get rid of my Atali and then transform. 6 mana. This card's really good in cube, by the way. Like as a reanimation target, as like a cheated out with fast mana, sneak and show kind of stuff. Ooh, treachery. They're short 1 mana. Well, now they're not. But they, I guess this just lets them ramp mana because the legend rule, they get rid of the other Atali. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's pretty hot. They just use treachery as like the worst desperate ritual. I guess a pretty good one here. Do I have anything that can kill them? Not there. Okay. All right. Mulda 5. What do I want to bring in? I want to bring in Fiery Confluence. Chupacabra seems less good. I could bring in Bob. Bring in Bob and cut Wormcoil. Yeah, I'm doing that. Love Rabbit Battery. This card is like one of the worst cards in the cube. Bob Flip Elephant? Yeah, I wish. I wish Bob would. You know, do it. I told this story last stream. The things that I've had my Dark Confidants flip over my life, we're only getting to lower CMCs. The only thing I haven't had Bob flip that would like really solidify my you know, my history with the big Bob flips is Draco. I have yet to flip a Draco off Dark Confidant. I'll go first. This is too slow. This is too, yeah. I'll keep this. I don't want to dash this card because I'm going to be tight on mana and cards. So I think I just want to play it. I'll play this card and then I'll IOK next turn or potentially hit another card. Hopefully we're going to be able to get some value out of this Fiery Confluence. A little unfortunate while getting to 5 twice, but you know. Ooh. Bam. Got a mountain. Wow. Wow. Ooh. I don't like what this Mystical Tutor could set up. Also, Croxa here doesn't do anything. Like, it gets it in the graveyard, but I'm just gonna chill. Their hand is Island, Mountain, Miscalc. Oh, come on. Come on. Now I can Mind Twist them, which is kind of appealing. They get to set up what I exile, which is a little unfortunate. So I'm just like always hitting lands. But a 2-mana, or sorry, a 2-power creature that's just making a treasure, like that's fine. If this card is just Magda. Although we don't have Goldspan Dragon that we can find off it. Yeah, getting to twist them is kind of nice. Especially because like they are, yeah, it's only twist for 3. You can't play the land. Island Miscalc EI. Okay, that's pretty good. They got Mountain Treachery and whatever they're floating with the top. So now Croxa gets a lot more strength because, you know, we can well, we can hit the cards out of their hand. In fact, we can hit this Treachery. Or they could flip top and draw another card. But I need to go like runner on lands here. Not doing anything else. So do you want to keep that Treachery or do you want to get a random card off your top? This is another card that's gotten a little bit better in Cube as the power level of cards has gone up. Just because I think cards in general are a lot cheaper and more effective at what they're looking to accomplish. And so, like, being able to, you know, incrementally curve out your draws is pretty nice. Entomb. Well, unfortunately, my opponent's deck's pretty good. They have Academy, they have Fable. They got, you know, some pretty good blue cards in here. They're drawing the top card, putting top on top so that they can rummage through some chaff. Battle Ball. Well, okay. There's some cards that are good. Lelia, Caves, and Ragavan. Yeah, it is a little frustrating that there isn't like a concise, like, they all do this one thing. But at the same time, it makes sense. Like, your one drop being able to play your opponent's lands is kind of fucked. You know? Mom and Pop Thopter Shop. Okay. Well. This could be a pretty cool Fiery Confluence. I'm going to entomb. I'm going to put a Tali in the graveyard. Maybe I should have put something else, because now I don't have a good persist target. 2 to each. I'm not blowing up any artifacts. It's going to clear the board. Although, I can't really wait until this transforms, I don't think. It's like, gotta get that Goblin off the table. Lelia probably doesn't need to play lands. Yeah. But it's a commander card, Matt. It's a commander card. Don't you need to play your lands in commander? Bankbuster. Sick. The mana in this deck is a little awful. We don't actually have any black-red fixing. We get our splash reasonably well, but we don't have a way to dance between black and red, which I think is probably the biggest downside of this deck. I mean, it's a little slow, but you know. Hey, Wheeler, I gotta thank you and Sheevan for the brilliant content of Sheevan and Wheeler Love Magic. For the Tempest episode, you got some new cards you need for your Eternal Schemer Lich deck and your Sekuar Deathkeeper Goblins deck. Well, glad we can help. By the way, there's a new episode of Sheevan and Wheeler Love Magic that might be up already. I don't know. It depends if Sheevan's on awake. I was gonna say online. Yeah, Stronghold's up. Great. Okay. Hell yeah, I get to... do this. Black Source. Okay. That's a good draw, though. It's a very good draw. I mean, we still can't cast it. But this lets us Atali. They unfortunately have top in play, but, you know. I think that's a pretty good draw. Medic, how you doing, bud? Thank you for the 5 months. Thanks for having my sub. It's great to be here. Well, thank you for being here. It's great to have you and your sub. I feel like that last part made it a little menacing. And your sub. Sips cold Earl Grey tea. Lukewarm Earl Grey tea. You know what? I'm happy that this deck 2-1'd, right? Like, this is... you saw this deck, right? People have seen this deck. Like, look at this curve. I can't show you... I can't... Is there a way... I play this game for a living, and I still don't know. Is there a way that I can look at the nice view from while I'm in match, or do I have to just look at this? But, like, this... Look at my curve. Like, these are all my 4s and 5s. Yeah, it's going 2-1 with going 2-1 with this deck is reasonable. It's a reasonable thing to do. Pack it up? No. I can from the Catacombs of Tali if I draw a Black Source. Yeah, we could do it. Italy's coming. Always talk about Stronghold for 2.5 hours. Yowza. Yeah, I can't believe that we talked about Stronghold for 2.5 hours. Tempest Block is like I think it's the GOAT. I think Tempest Block is the GOAT of all time. The greatest of all time of all time. But like I expected us to spend that time on Tempest, and we did. But you know. Out of curiosity, are you, Adam, or any of the Okioki boys getting Grand Blue Rising? I don't know. I can't speak for the other ones. I'm not a big... Anime fighters don't really entice me. You know? The aesthetic's not my jam. And so it's, you know, it's not, I'm sure the gameplay is like fine. Okay, I'm gonna pack it in. I'm gonna, oh, hold on, let me play my mountain. I'm gonna pack it in because we can get more time with more drafts. Yeah, going 2-1 with that draft, with that deck is that's okay. That's where we're at. Ooh, so there's a Mox Pearl, which I'm gonna take, and unfortunately, the only white card in the pack is Seasoned Dungeoneer, which is brutal. This card's busted. I'm gonna take this Mox Pearl. Aren't I super excited for Ravnica remastered anime cards? You know what? Give me a second, because I got a bid on this. I got a little... not a mini... it's not a tangent. I'm not going to become an irate gamer. But I will give credit where credit is due. Card treatment? Anime. Okay. So this Ravnica set's coming out. We're taking this Mox Pearl, by the way. Because, like, the only other card that's comparable in quality is Seasoned Engineer, and they kind of just do the same thing. Okay. So there's this Ravnica Remastered set has printed a bunch of anime cards. One thing, this card, this is printing money. This is the freest money I've ever seen anybody print. It's a token generator that makes angels that is anime. You have your anime angel waifu reaching out to your hand being like, ahaha, it's time to make 4/4s. And like, yeah, it's actually, you know what? It's not my jam, but it's more tasteful than it could have been. So I'll give them that. Oh, fuck. All right. Yeah, we're partying. 4th Aerolingus. Ooh. The other cards are Scalding Tarn, Dark Ritual, but 4th Aerolingus is broken, so I'm going to take that. And then most of these are like, they are less anime than they're like Fortnite anime. I don't know how to word this. They give, I know that they are done by Japanese artists, and some of them are manga artists and whatnot, but they're giving big like Western depiction of anime sort of vibes, which I guess kind of makes sense for the set. But then like stuff like this, it's like, yeah, sure, why not? Make it like, I don't know if this needed to be anime, but like this is goofy, right? This is good. This isn't like hypersexualized or, you know, doing anything too gross. Even stuff like this, right? Like this Massacre Girl has become like a fan favorite, which makes sense. She's an e-girl that can kill you. And that's like the dream of just so many touch-starved individuals on the internet, right? Like this is cool. This rules, right? It's not my jam, but sure, why not? But a lot of the, I gotta give them credit because it's like, yeah, this is great, right? This is, if you're gonna do anime, oh fuck, I gotta make a pick. I could take Kikijiki here. I could take Expressive Iteration. Am I just taking Kikijiki? I don't really like taking Kikijiki. Is it EI? I'm gonna take EI. Yeah. Ooh, Smuggler's Copter. This card's cracked. All right, I got 50 seconds to rant. Great. Like, this is cute, right? This card's cute. This is like a different, it's a nice approach to the anime art style, because oftentimes when you get Western companies using an anime art style, they tend to pick, I mean, Japanese companies do this too. They just pick like the Genshin Impact slop, right? But this is great. This is like a depiction that if you had the more like realistic style that pops up on magic cards that you find, it wouldn't hit. But you just got like the pile of rats that are like cute but also kind of menacing, and then you got the top one that's like like that's great. That's great. I like that quite a bit. Or the Ilharg. The Ilharg's really good. Right? Like this is big Mononoke Hime vibes. I say that with like a shit-eating grin, because you know. Ooh, I could take Othari. And just like we could draft like a Boros deck. This card is very strong. It might wheel, but people are like starting to figure out that this card is very strong. We could also take Sulfuric Vortex. This card kills people dead. I feel like Boros is, I don't know. I feel like this card is not as good as it used to be because people are killing people. I'm going to take Othari. I could take Cathar Commando. We haven't drafted this kind of deck in the cube yet too, so I'm interested. Yeah, this is good. Like please explore what this art style, even though this is like not my preferred style, even this, right? It's very I prefer the bolder lines or the more like traditional like manga styling. But like, yeah, this is a big pig. Looks like Ikoria comic book art. Oh, I got some controversial stuff to tell you about manga and comic books, but Krenko is hilarious too. Like this has big like bad guy from Fist of the North Star kind of vibes, which I'm here for. I'm here for it. I don't know if I'm going to be a Monastery Mentor deck. We currently have a lot of non-creature spells. I could take Teferi. I could take Scrappers. I don't think I'm playing City of Traders. No, City of Traders, this card is just like not as good in this deck, in this cube. It's no Ancient Tomb. I could take Mentor or Teferi. I think I want to take Mentor. We could try to do a Mentor style deck too. Inti. Could take Inti. I think I like Inti better than Flicker Wisp and Emberith Shieldbreaker. We have Cathar Commando already. Inti works with Smuggler's Copter too. Yeah, I'll take Inti. Rabblemaster's like a perfect pickup. Obviously, CZDZ didn't wheel, but Rabblemaster just fucking kills people, so let's take Rabblemaster. Student of Warfare isn't like my preferred one drop for this deck. I could take Student of Warfare. We could take Ketria Triome. Realistically, am I playing the Student of Warfare in a 2-color deck? Am I playing Ketria Triome? I'm going to take Ketria Triome in case I open like a Minsc and Boo. I could take Giver of Ruins. I like Magda. Sulfuric Vortex or Selfless Spirits. I'm going to take Spirit. Staff? I like Staff, but I like the other cards that we picked more. Staff does have some stuff. It does synergize, obviously, with... I mean, I say it synergizes with, like, 4th Aerolingus, but, you know, this card just kills people. It does... It can synergize with... Magda was in the same pack, though, right? Rabblemaster. Staff's a good card, but I like the picks that we've made. I think that pack was a little shaky in the middle, but it ended up kind of evening out. I might not even play this Mentor. If we get enough cards to support the Mentor. This Protean Hulk is fucking great. Because this Protean Hulk is great for a couple of reasons. One, it just looks great. Two, people that like, there are going to be people that just look at this and the first thing they think of is Naruto, and that's okay. Because they'll see it and be like, oh shit. I like the giant is the Toad guy. It's the Toad guy from Naruto. There's a Mana Vault. Mana Vault's pretty good with 4th Aerolingus and Othari. The only other cards in here, like Fracture Identity, if we end up playing blue, Esper Sentinel is like fine. I'm going to take Mana Vault because it's Mana Vault. We're not really a Library of Alexandria deck. Oh, there's an Animate Dead. I kind of want to stick with what we're doing. I could take the Bunny, or I could take Walking Ballista. I like taking Walking Ballista here, because Walking Ballista works with our acceleration, although we didn't get the Heliod, so maybe Ballista is just like too low impact. So I could take Ballista here. There's a couple of things I'm thinking of. We could take Ballista, and then we could wheel Bunny or Ranger Captain. Bunny's a pretty good card for all these tokens that I'm making. Captain, if we take the Ballista, then we can Ballista for the Captain, which is kind of nice. I think actually just the correct pick is taking this Bunny, though. There's also Goldspan Dragon. This feels a little weird to be passing Animate Dead to Traxa Underground Sea, but you know what? Content. Speaking of content. Do I want this Tundra, or do I want Thraben Inspector? There's not a lot of white cards in these packs. I think I'm taking Thraben Inspector. Ooh, Wheel of Fortune? Fire Blast? Fire Blast is like a messed up magic card. I think I should take Fire Blast. We are not really a Wheel of Fortune deck. I mean, we could, because we have blue. We could pick up a Hull Breacher. I bet I could wheel this Fire Blast. Wedding Announcement, I think we'll wheel. A lot of the things about playing this deck is that, like, so much of your shit just wheels. I'm going to take wheel in case we get Hull Breacher or Bowmasters, and I can add to that. So much of the stuff that you actually want, you can just wheel, because, like, they're kind of dorky cards. Intrepid Adversary is really good. I think I like it better than, you know, Zerda or Lingering Souls. Oh, the Coveted Jewel. I could take Chandra. Chandra's an alright curve topper. I'm not a Retrofitter Foundry deck. Do I want Savannah? I don't even know if I'm going to play this. I'll take Winds of Abandon. It's a pretty good piece of removal. Kiki's no longer in this deck, so I'm going to take the Celix Conscripts. But I'm going to take Celix Combat. I could play Winter Orb. I don't know if I'm going to play Winter Orb, but I could take Winter Orb. The first middle schooler to start vaping also has the Coveted Jewel. I thought they didn't they ban jewels, like specifically jewels? I don't know anymore. Oh, Captain and Ballista. Captain is just like pretty reasonable. We have top end. I think I like Captain more than Ballista. We don't have the Heliod combo. Captain can find Inspector and Giver of Ruins. There's another person playing White X at this table. Like, obviously, Seasoned Engineer can go on anything. It's a 4-mana card with a single pip. But I don't think the law stops teenagers. That was more of a, like, I'm asking people, like, hey, didn't this happen? I would like some duels, if possible. Oh, wait, there's the Fire Blast. I want this Fire Blast. I'm not playing this. I don't know if I'm maining this. This Mentor, this Wheel of Fortune are kind of sus. They're kind of sus. They're the imposter. They're the Lethal Company. Am I doing it right? Hello? Ooh, 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, Wrath of God. All right, Black Lotus. Didn't get a Black Lotus. We got a Hanger Back. This pack has nothing for us. We got Reprieve. We got like Hanger Back. I'm gonna take the Sunbaked Canyon because there's literally nothing in this pack that is like very powerful. But this card, I mean, we could, yeah, Reprieve is like the best card in this pack for our deck. In a way, like the best spell. I did mention that I currently don't have any dual lands. And this is a dual land that's great for an aggressive deck, which we are. And just like, if this card gets picked, if I pick Reprieve, try to wheel the canyon gets snapped up, I'm going to be so pissed. Yeah, we haven't seen Plateau. We haven't seen like a proper fetch. I'm going to take the Sunbaked Canyon. Taiga. Recruit of the Guard's pretty good. It's pretty good with our Mana Vault Mox Pearl. I'm going to take Recruiter of the Guard. Hold on, I have more anime to look at. Prime Speaker Zagana. Okay. Aurelia. This is so funny to me. Is Aurelia is not like canonically like 17, right? Yeah, Oh, alarm started going off. Congratulations. You found one of my biggest issues with with this stuff. Yeah, I like look, I'm I'm an Angels guy. Everybody knows that. We've been over this. I'm an Angel guy. I like my Angels, right? But this isn't the like I'm, you know, this doesn't scream exemplar of justice to me. You know? Ooh, the One Ring? Bone Crusher? Oh, there's the Bowmasters. Do I have the mana to support this Bowmasters? No, not even close. Could take Bowmaster, or sorry, could take Spellbinder, could take Bone Crusher Giant, could take Sam. Bone Crusher Giant is just like pretty low impact, like a shock. I mean, this card is very strong, but like, I don't know if I need it. Magda. We have some ways. I mean, I could take the One Ring to just like refuel my hand. Or I could take we could take Bowmasters and then just try to pick up some duels and stuff. I think I'd take Elite Spellbinder. Yeah, let's just play. Ooh, Luminar Gasperant's a hell of a pickup. That's a really good 2-drop. I'm gonna pass Anduril and take Inspiring Advantage because I need to focus on my mana. Ooh, Skyclave's a really good draw. Yeah, I'll take Blade Splicer. I could take Arc Trail. We could take Prismatic Ending. Don't know if I want to play Restoration Angel. Although our top end is Othari and Chandra. Restoration Angel works well with some number of our cards. Currency Converter this late? Oh, come on. Like I might not even play some of these cards. I'm going to take Ending in case we fight like an artifact deck. Am I playing Ash Barrens? Probably not. My mana for this draft was not great. Yeah, I feel like they did my girl dirty here. But like, I don't know. I've seen a lot of people pretty excited about this. Like, if you are addicted to Genshin Impact, then I understand wanting to play this card. Ooh. Sam and Bones. Don't really have a fetch or like a Wasteland or anything. I think I'll take the Bones. ACAB includes Aurelia. Yeah, you're right. I'm cutting Blade Splicer. Touch of Spirit Realm is a pretty good pickup, actually. I don't hate this magic card. Yeah. It also works well with some of our other creatures. I don't know if I need Mind Collapse in favor of this. Yeah, I don't like all the alt arts in sets. This Karlov's pretty cool. Although it's just like, what if a fat guy was dead and loved money? It's like, yeah. That's kind of, I guess that's kind of funny. Somebody stopped me from ordering a hot link sandwich through DoorDash. Don't do that. You're just gonna feel like shit. You're gonna spend too much money on a Sammy. You got food at home. Just don't. How's my actual anime prince looking? Yeah. How does this look like less anime than some of the other some of the other cards? Like some of the other cards depicting Rao. What a supple wrist. Oh, I love that. Ooh, he's giving the okay. The beard? Who's Rouse Eric's beard? Savra, Queen of the... See? Okay, hold on. Let me see if I have this. I also kind of have to make this deck. I need one cut. Is it Fire Blast? Can't be Fire Blast. I open incognito mode. I mean, I'm doing that because I'm on stream. I don't want to accidentally open up a window and then it just like doxes myself or whatever. Ranger Captain is only finding Lavamancer, Thraben Inspector, Giver of Runes. Also, what is Lavamancer's not really that great in this deck because we don't have a lot of cheap spells. I think I actually keep the Ranger Captain because it's just going to draw us a card. Although, and it's a 3/3. Yeah, I think I like this. Actually, is Fire Blast? I think I have to cut Fire Blast. I don't think I have enough for Fire Blast. We can play Mind Collapse. Oh, my sexy cowboy cosplay. It is kind of wild to me. Where like this is the OG Savra, right? And this is very like classic older Magic, like framing of here's a person that has an actual name and you need to give a shit about who this person is and like who they are. But it's also very like early 2000s like what if a woman were evil? Potentially, or at least like what if a woman was morally ambiguous, huh? And it's like, oh, there's just no way. Yeah, it feels old fantasy book art. Yeah, Dark Horse Comics, very Dark Horse Comics, which like there's some positives to that. There's some, you know, a little like, oh, do we need more pieces like this or whatever. Then we get this. This is the art from the set. And this fucking rules. This is, I'm not kidding. This might be my favorite like art on a creature in like the past 5 years. This art goes so fucking hard. And maybe I'm saying that because it reminds me of Grist, and Grist is like my favorite planeswalker, one of my favorite pieces of art in the game. But like, you got everything. I mean, you have like these skeletons or zombies in the back covered in flowers, which is just like an appealing aesthetic choice. You have the color palette of these right, it's the whole flower blossoming in a graveyard kind of juxtaposition. You have this like sense of movement from her scythe where like you can even see some of the like the background shading in that it has like the scythe, it makes it look like it's moving and flowing, and her hair pushes that way, and the direction of the blades on the scythe push this way, and the flowers get tucked in, and it's just like it makes it feel almost like a circle. like it's a circle of life, like it's this cycle of death and rebirth, and you know, that's fucking cool. This is just like such a slam dunk, right? Just a mwah. Like, I tend to prefer OG art above everything. That's just what I like to do. I like to pick up the original art. I'm going to buy a copy of this Magic card. Like, I'm going to need to get a foil version of Savra. And I think there's like an OG border. Yeah, like, oh my God. And you know what the best part is? A foil old bordered version of this art is still probably just going to be like $5. Like, I can't imagine it's going to be that pricey. Yeah, it's got big Memento Mori vibes. How much is this card? How is Card Kingdom pre-selling this card? Oh, it's out of this says out of stock at $27, but you know, it's that might come down. There's going to be the set's not even out. The set's not even out. This rules. This fucking rules. And then there's this. Which, if this is your preferred style of artwork, like if this is something that you like for the cards or for, you know, the slop you consume, like, yeah, power to you. I'm not going to be too critical, Kappa. But it's just, I don't know, like, why anime doesn't necessarily mean you have to yassify every card. And like, it's just, now this is tits out. I will say that, right? This is tits out. But this is very anime tits out. Like, this is like, she's kind of rocking a little belly paunch here. And she's a queen, you know? Damn girl, you're looking good. And then this, we got the like pulled in waist. We've got the make sure all the hair is out of my eyes so that you can see my anime eyes and my, you know, you got the puffed out chest for the artwork. It's very like, I don't know, fucking dime a dozen. It's just, yeah, you lose the scythe. You get, this has big, like, I stole my parents' credit card vibes. And yeah, it's just, it's not my jam. Not my jam. But like this, or even the new border art. I mean, I like the old border art. I do think that the old border, the cards that have been reprinted with old border art, it's a little like, it feels a little anachronistic. I mean, it is anachronistic in a way, but it's a little like you can tell that the card quality, the printing quality, like it's different, right? It's not as rich. The gold border is brighter. It's more illuminated, and it kind of loses that feeling of like plucked from this point in time. Like, what if this card was printed when there was only old borders? Because it's just like, well, this isn't the same old border. So I'm not like on board for the old border, like when it's available on these cards as like a rule or whatever. But I do think that the old border, the brighter old border, works a lot better with the color of the flowers, with the color of the, like this like marshy kind of like swamp-ish gas. Like, it's, yeah. That's cool. That's cool. This I'm not so much. And then Teysa, I mean, everybody likes Teysa, right? But I don't know how you're beating, like, like how are you beating these cards? I mean, it's this is the 3-mana one. Like, even this Teysa is great. This Teysa suffers from, you know, boob window. I mean, the boob window's on here for all the things, but this is like very like early 2000s, like, check out this boob window. But it does give, like, the guy in the background being like, you know, I've got something, you know, he's about to say a second plane has hit, you know, Raja. A second Nephilim has hit the Basilica. And, you know, this one's not the best of the bunch, right? Because you have, I mean, the Magali one's great. I actually think this is my favorite. I think this is my favorite Tesa, the Carlo Ortiz one. Like it is just so like the crossed legs, the off center, like the off center framing sort of thing, kind of just like tucked in the corner. It's not, look, I've been very happily married to my husband for a decade now. So maybe I'm not the best person to, make judgments on the application of boob windows. But, I think there's a good way to do it and a bad way to do it. And this way, I'm not super keen on, but this is also, 20 years old. This way is, it's a little, what's her name? Power Girl? There's a superhero that does that, right? It's tasteful. It's still very like sexual, but I don't know. When I look at this card, I don't look at the boob window. I look at the fact that I'm about to get my ass kicked, Power Girl. Yeah. This art's great as well. Like, obviously it's Magali. Magali's, one of the best to do it in the game right now. This one is more like muted, and I think I like it quite a bit. Anywho, then there's this, which she just kind of, you go from like this like pensive or in control kind of like powerful feeling to just, this is the look of someone who is just like, fuck, I don't have money for food because I bought all these gotchas, right? This is the look when you realize that you have played 140 hours of Genshin Impact this week. Like, this is the look of someone where they're like, oh shit, I was supposed to get groceries and now all the store is closed. As they stare, like you can't see it, but she's actually staring at a microwave with a cup of not soup, but it's leftover chicken stock and some saltines crushed in it and like a carrot. And she's just realizing like, why did I microwave this carrot? And then, but she's like, why did I microwave this carrot? And it's going to hit her that she microwaved the carrot because she forgot to clean her pans, and it's just, it's very dead inside. I don't know. I find that the Ravnica Legends on like some of the older versions, or like I said with Savra, the newer version, like they have just so much more character in it behind them. Not to say that these are all like, bunk or whatever. The Krenko is great. The Karlov is great. This Domri's kind of cool, right? Never mind. But like the Karlov is pretty great. The Krenko was great. The Protean Hawk rules. This Life from the Loam is like, this Life from the Loam is like, this panel is like, you're about to rush through this garden, go to a field, and you're going to have like Golgari Thug is like running with like some birds in the background, and as like the opening song starts playing, which is like not necessarily a bad thing. It's pretty, yeah. Some cards, no matter the art style, you can look at them and they're like, oh, that's nice. It's pretty, it's colorful. This Massacre Girl, I think, is like the way to do it if you're going to do like the cheesy kind of anime stuff, is because like, yeah, it's you just got an e-girl. But like you got this e-girl that's just like killed there's a bunch of corpses down here, and then you have, the fireworks up top, and she's smiling, and her hair looks great. It's very, very, very weird. Ruvak? I haven't even looked at the twink. Also, we have a game to play. Have I just like been in match and I timed out? Tomik. Yeah, he just kind of sure is anime, huh? Sure is anime. Anyways. Oh, I put up too many extra windows so the next song didn't start playing. My bad. I was trying to be so good. Tanjiro looking ass. Yeah. To cap it off, I don't hate anime or anything like that. Quite quite the contrary. Is I grew up on that shit. I still read manga to this day. I still occasionally will watch, you know, some anime series. I tend to prefer stuff that isn't, you know, made for a teenage audience, but you know, that's far and few between nowadays, unfortunately. What manga do I read? Let me drop what series I'm watching, or what series I'm reading right now. I mean, right now I'm reading through Vinland Saga, which I've been reading Vinland Saga, which feels like for forever. God, I can't even remember when I was reading Dungeon Meshi, but Dungeon Meshi just finished. History, I'm reading through. I am following Chainsaw Man, but like very loosely. Welcome to the Ballroom. Kusuriya no Hirorigoto, I'm reading. The new JoJo's. Grand Blue. I'm rereading Frankenfran as well, very slowly. Yeah, I'd like to play first. Yeah, I'd like to keep this hand. Okay, we need a land, but this hand's kind of cracked, right? I think there's a, yeah, anime is not just, there's anime in quotations, which is just like what everybody pictures. Don't force a will me. As just like, you know, there's this anime style, right? This like, the art station anime style. I don't know how else to word it. All right, come on, one land, please. Okay, yeah, we're cooking. We are off to the fucking races. Shonen anime. I knew they had a force of will. I knew it. I guess that's a pretty good sign for me. Like, I understand that animation is expensive, time-consuming, and that, like, it's a miracle that anything that is animated even makes it out the door, especially considering how grueling the conditions are of the artists, and even, like, going outside of that, like, what they're pulling from, right? Like, the manga, like, the fucking, just how, how, like, there's just like this epidemic of like mangaka working themselves to death, and people are just like, oh, hell of a business, huh? Touch the spirit realm, touch the grass. I think I like doing this because I like keeping the pressure up. Yeah. Okay, why'd you stop playing? The music started playing and then it stopped playing. I'm gonna figure something out for this for next stream. Troll? You trolling? Are you trolling me? Damn, they're popping off. It'd be a shame if I spell binded your things elitely. Me spellbinding your board in a very elite way. We're at 7. Yeah, I'm just playing this. I kind of want to hide the Manival. I got by days here. But what do you got? 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 7 mana. They might concede here if they want to hide their secrets. I'll take the From the Catacombs. All right, they're on blocking with Creeping Tar Pit duty. yeah, the Japanese working culture is, I mean, not that North American working culture is any better. We're all dying. We're all getting crushed under the grimy boot of capitalism with no real escape, except for taking action, and ideally taking violent action and taking it on, because that shit's not coming down to us. But couple of buddies I knew that, or one in particular, I don't want to blow up his spot, but he lived in Japan, worked in Japan, and was just like, yeah, it's just like, I basically developed alcoholism from working in Japan, because it's just every fucking night, like, depending on obviously the company, it's like you work your ass off. This is gonna sound like a country song where they just, like, you know, list a bunch of things. But it's just like, yeah, you just work your ass off at just like ridiculous hours, and then the only way to unwind is to drink yourself into oblivion, and it's okay because everybody else is doing it. And in fact, if you don't show up and do it, I mean, what the hell is wrong with you, you know? You wouldn't, you're not gonna say no, right? Oh, fuck. Oh, God, that's tilting. Okay, well. I got so turnt that I F6 through my turn. Effect, or I through combat at least. Okay, not ideal, but we might still be fine here. They do get to keep the initiative. Combat step is not the place to say no. Yeah, you're telling me. Classic Magic Online. Where are you going? The Undercity on the stack. Yeah, you can do that. Depending on 2 to the bottom. I think I'm still sacrificing this here. Not related to the F6. Is Moto my main game? Yeah, it's between Moto and Magic Online. Wait, those are the same. Oh, fuck. Sorry, I didn't sleep last night. It's between Moto and Magic Arena. Oh, shit. Ooh, if I had to, you know, if I had to say, it's a toss-up between, actually, hold on, this prismatic ending should probably be in here. Over touch the spirit realm? I think I do this. Yeah, I do that. Enjoying the vibe? Glad of it. We try to set a very specific vibe here, where it's relaxing enough that you can have it on the background, but occasionally if you tune in and start listening, you know, it's, we talk about the gripes of capitalism and, well, frankly, just how easy it is to actually, like, acquire specific types of, like, poison. I mean, nobody checks their salad if, you know, if it's a work lunch or whatever. Yeah, they got stuff that we could touch the spirit realm. That's true. But like with Winds of Abandon and I keep this. With Winds of Abandon and Skyclave isn't going to deal with the troll. We got stuff. We got stuff. Mana Vault. I'm also going to play a Mana Vault. I'm also Mana Vault gaming. Chandalar. Chandalar would be fun. I feel like everybody under the sun has done a Chandalar playthrough, but a Chandalar playthrough might be kind of fun. But if we played Chandalar on Is This Your Card? That's a good way of doing that. Maybe we're not even a monovault deck. Well, on the other hand, rabble, rabble. Make a goblin, make it bigger. Attack you. This can get a little tricky because if they play a creature that can block with Copter, then we're in a bit of a spot where our goblins have to attack. Yeah, Chandalar would be kind of a funny, is this your card, right? That might be a good game to play for the 3-year anniversary of Is This Your Card? Is it 3 years or 4 years? I think it's 3 years. Can you believe we've done... Do you know how many episodes of Is This Your Card we've done? Like, I know that I just said that it's going to be 3 years, so that's a bit of a giveaway. But it's like 130. Like... Just say it out loud is very... It's just like, oh yeah, this is just 130 episodes of this thing for 3 hours a pop. That's a lot of cards. It's also a lot of is this your? Damn, that's a lot of cards, and it's on a lot of is this your? I don't think the Wrath effect that they're going to play. I mean, the Blackcleave Cliffs, they look more blue-black than blue-red. So, like, their Wrath effect is going to be Toxic Deluge, which we got no matter what. Oh, they're going to Force Will this? Oh, yeah, okay. That works for me. Am I worried about a flash threat? They didn't do anything. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it, we ball. I didn't come here to not ball. After the 4-year anniversary, I have to stop calling it the new stream. It is still the newest weekly stream over here at twitch.tv/LoadingReadyRun. I got a question that relates to you hearing about the Ben deck and how does it work and actually ruin people. It's pretty good. Oh, that card's also pretty good. Into our Rabble Master. Didn't Surge start a new stream? No, it's still under the one more. Oh, that's pretty good. You got one card in hand. Can I kill you? I might be able to kill them. Big Goblin. Big Goblin. Where are you blocking? Where are you blocking? I've got a large lad. I got a large lad. Yeah, I'll save my friends. If they block anything that's small, then we can Bone Crusher Giant it. Now they're just like taking Mana Vault damage, which is pretty cool. I have to see if shocking them end of turn does anything. They take 7, or they go to 7. Shocking them into Othari is pretty strong. Oh my god, they're untapped Mana Vault. Ooh, yeah, that's that good stuff. Oh, that's that good stuff. Death Touch is probably blocking this. I guess I can get around the life linker, but then I'm not pushing enough damage anyways. So I think I'm stomping at the face. Right? I think I stomped their face. And then I mean, the answer is simple. We draw a land and then we Othari. Yeah. Easy as, mate. Easy as, mate. Pre-recorded stream. Could you imagine me actually going through the effort of doing a pre-recorded stream? Do I strike you as the kind of person that would be like, okay, I gotta make sure to include a couple of misplays just so I could be like, oh, chat, look, chat, and then people will think it. If the bit was funny enough, I would. That's true. Maybe I should do it once. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna say it right here, right now. I am going to do one pre-recorded stream in 2024, and I'm not going to tell you when. I'm not going to tell you what it is. And you're going to have to, if somebody guesses it, they'll get I don't know. They'll get a cool magic card. The Ben Ben Aki Hermit deck works because you play a bunch of stuffy dolls and Ben Ben does a shitload of damage. And so, yeah, you do. You can kill a lot of people's creatures if they try to attack you, and then you can just kill them when you attack with your stuffy doll and you dome it out. Not a lot of acceleration, but we got some pretty strong cards here. Obviously, Fourth Aerolingus is not that bad. Isn't it wild that, like, the oldest card in this hand, other than Mountain and Plains, the oldest cards in this hand are Giver Runes and Winds of Abandon. That just does not feel real. Steve Jobs died of what? Yeah, it's by their old border. Oh, it is. Sorry, I was responding to a work message. Mox Pearl. Well, that's good with the rabbit. It's pretty strong with the rabbit. Gonna fatal push my mum. Oi, mate, you gonna fatal push me mum? Oi, mate. I'm from the south of France. Yeah, this dino card's pretty good, too. G'day, mate. I'm from France. I got a twerk message. Yep. I got a twerk massage. Twitch rolled back everything that they... all the changes that they made, right? With the topless meta? I don't know. That's... Kiefer was complaining to me about how he's at a therapy appointment, and about how the therapist's place does not have like an elevator or whatever. It's not super, it's a smaller office, so it's not really accessible. It's not friendly to those who are disabled or have accessibility issues. And I'm like, oh, dude, that sucks. I'm so sorry to hear that. And I was about to type out something else. And he goes, but I got honey buns, so it cancels them out. And I type, oh, good. And it auto-corrected to oh food, and I was just like that's the thing that you say, and your partner or whatever is just like, wait a minute, are you an alien? What happened to you? Oh, food. Yes, I know. I'm familiar with food. Oh, of course, food. Do I just want a Ligma and get the... Kind of just want a Ligma and get the monarchy. 2 mana, get the monarchy. Start drawing some cards and some lands. I could play this bunny, but check it. What if instead I did this so I could start hitting my land drops? Tales of food you earthlings keep talking about? Yes, food. It appears to be this thing that you process in order to continue living, that is only attainable when you don't spend all of your money, as you say, on... Am I getting this right? Genshin Impact? What's the name of the like Astro Train version of Genshin Impact? It's Honkshu. It's called like Honkshu Railways, Honkshu Star Rail or something. Honkai Star Rail. That's it. Okay. Current waifu zone Honkai Star Rail. I don't know if I want to look at this. Honkai Star Rail. Am I wrong? Okay, we got Ral Zarek here. We got Aurelia. We've got Masker Girls in the background. Googling it immediately puts me on a watch list. Oh no. So they griefed me, and then they necromancy griefed. What is this? Modern? No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding, everybody. Also, griefing, discarding Shieldred when I have the monarchy seems kind of wild. I mean, I think I like grief, like I guess griefing the necromancy. Like you want to grief the Shieldred so you can necromancy the grief, I get that. But like, I don't know. This card is like messed up. This card is not okay. What if I Google Honkai Star Rail waifu? No, I'm not comfortable with this. Ooh, well, I don't have the right mana, but you know, ooh. Blue Archive is the one we're Googling it. Do I actually want to Google this? You have now Mind Collapse? Oh. Blue Archive. Wait, is this the train game? There's one where they're all trains, right? Oh, I don't like this. Do not look up Blue Archive? Okay. I got to a Google page and then I closed it. Oh, it's just a bunch of booba? Okay. Even saying that, I felt a little gross. I'm a grown-ass man. Like, oh. Is that the one where they're battleships? Is that what I meant? Trains? I remember seeing Elliot from, like, I don't know if I want to blow up his spot. He's in grown-ass man words like booba. Yeah, it's just, that's like classic, like, guy that is scared to say the words breast or boob or chest. Any combination of them. I mean, even some of those are a little like, you know, the you've got something. Wait a minute, you're exiling my selfless spirit? Oh, that's kind of funny. So they're going to attack with grief. I'm going to double block here. I'm going to give my Rabble Master protection from black. They're going to sacrifice selfless spirit to save their grief. So they're, oh no, they didn't do any of that. Okie dokie. Hey, all right. My bad. I thought you were going to do some amount of that. I'm going to tap this card. I attack with this, and then they can... I kind of just want them to sacrifice this card. So I'm going to attack like this. Yeah, they eat that. I want them... I mean, they could just have the monarchy if I use this turn to, like, build up my stuff. Could play Chandra into Inti, which is kind of hot. Yeah, let's just get this on the table here. It's going to make my next turn a lot better. Yeah, I could like selfless, or sorry, I could Skyclave Apparition, the like animate dead, to like not give them a card, but then I'm using my whole turn doing this, and it's like really bad. I don't think it's that good. There's an argument to make that I Skyclave, hit the animate dead, and then I just hold both of them back and hold on to the monarchy. But this way lets me develop this Chandra and Inti, and now I think I can just like, I can do a similar play next turn, but now I have a Chandra in play. And an Inti. And Inti's going to let me trample over even if they do like any Skyclave stuff. So they're just going to peck me with this. Excuse me. All right, catch you later, Rumple Nutskins. Have a Nutskin singular. Have a good one. There's one where they all have giant jiggly asses. So of course they had a near automata collab. Yeah, I got some takes about those near games where I don't entirely understand it. Maybe I'm getting old. What if I do this now? I'm going to target that. Because we drew a pretty cool magic card. Oh. Forces their hand on this. And then I can... I mean, I guess I have to attack with this. Do I want to get rid of target attacking creature? This becomes a 2/2. I don't really want to do that. I might do it next turn. I have to do this attack anyways. But I can go you. I can exile grief. I could also exile the currency converter, but now it's every couple of turns. I guess they get to keep the monarchy, but now I get to have Inti giving trample to my Bunnicorn with Giver of Runes. I get an extra card. And this backfires if they deluge me, but like that is, I think that's the only thing I'm scared of. Unless they animate Archon. They can, yeah, you can animate that card, I guess, if you want. But what are you killing? You kill my Chandra? You have... They would need, like... They've already used Animated and Necromancy, so like they would either Exhume, which gives me a flying attacker, which is kind of hot, or they would Reanimate or Life Death, and those aren't great. What do we have? I'm probably going to inti this. Yeah, they could persist this card. That's true. I could just see what we got. We could also tick up, cast Recruiter, then we have 4 mana to work with. I already have my Skyclave. Yeah, I mean, Elite Spellbinder lets me see their secrets. Lets me see what they got going on. Is there a world where I can kill them? This Bunicorn? I guess they have enough diversity in their colors. Ahoy, J-Bro. How you doing? How you doing? How you been? I gotta look at my deck again. Because the utility cards that I know I have are already in play or the graveyard. Did I bring in anything? So Recruit of the Guard is likely just finding... We can find Intrepid Adversary or Cathar Commando. Cathar Commando is pretty good. Adversary also just ends the game a lot of the time. I don't have... We're at 12. Can I, like, get a pretty strong attack here that forces some awkward blocks? I think so. Yeah, what if I do... Because I can Adversary for 2 here. Kind of like that. Or for 1. Adversary for 1. But I think that's still good enough to push. Because we're pushing a shitload of damage here. I think I like that better than... Commando deals with an Animate Dead or Necromancy, but they've already got those in the graveyard. Elite Spellbinder sets me up for their hand. Spellbinders, I think I like the Adversary line. The Adversary line just pushes so much damage that they have to, like, deal with. And then this Bunicorn is going to, like, just hit like a truck. The question is, do I have lethal if I attack with the Giver of Ruins? They have a couple of cards in hand. I don't think I'm going to risk it. I think I'm just going to keep this Giver on back. Because I feel pretty good about my spot, no matter. Oh, I just played that card right. Yeah. Go to Inti. Onto my Rabbit. Yes, I want to discard this card. And I'm going to make my Bunny extremely large. And yeah. Yeah. Getting the Bunny trampling over was the game plan from the get-go. Just seeing how much damage I can actually push. And if, like, am I going for a push damage line that requires me to, like, tap the Giver? Or can I go for, like, a Spellbinder line that still pushes enough? But I think the Adversary pushed enough, like, from my math, it pushed enough damage that we can leave the Giver back and then protect our Bunny. Yeah, this deck's all right. We got some, I mean, we have some pretty powerful cards here. We got a Mox. That's nice. Kind of a weird Mana Vault deck, but, like, we have some top end cards. I'm just running it back. We could bring in the Ending, actually. Ending deals with Animate Dead and JVP and Moxen. But I kind of like what we have. Well, Touch the Spirit Realm and Cathar Commando and a Mox. On the draw. I mean, I'm going to draw a red source. Oh yeah, the conscripts. They haven't. They've shown me that they have reanimate cards. I haven't, like, seen anything too scary. That's a pretty good draw. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep the Cathar Commando because they don't know about the Commando. Conscripts would be pretty funny. You could even set up lines where, like, play the Bunicorn, play Conscripts, untap, give Bunicorn haste. Dothy Voidwalker, wow. Dothy Voidwalker, wow. And give me that. I'm the one who races here. Thank you very much. What a top deck. My deck's filled with magic cards that we can draw. I don't even know how good this play is. Infernal Grasp. Bitter Triumph. Torak. Oh, shit. Come on. This is a top deck. Mountain. Oh, well, you hate to see it. So I could Recruiter the Guard. I can Thraben Inspector, try to draw a land here. Pro white. I'm going to Recruiter the Guard. We have an answer to Torak in our hand, but our hand is a little scary. Could grab Giver of Runes here. Could grab Elite Spellbinder. I kind of like Giver of Runes to protect our Skyclave and our board. They seem a little light on mana. Yeah, I'm going to take the Giver. Or sorry, I mean, obviously they're light on mana. They seem light on threats. Like, I know that they showed the reanimation stuff, but I think they're actually pretty light on, like, pressure oriented stuff. Like, I'm fine taking this Giver and trying to be a little more protective of my stuff. Yeah, if we get Othari going, then it's nice to have Giver. Oh, I'd love to see it. Why am I apologizing? I'm allowed to. It's my stream. What? I'm gonna keep up Touch the Spirit Realm. What could this deck have? Like, I could be worried about Toxic Deluge. They could have a kill spell. Kill my Snapcaster Mage. Right, they showed me that last game. Do I care about this? Am I coming to CubeCon? I'd like to. I would really enjoy coming to CubeCon. I think there's enough time between now. Yeah, I think there's enough time between now and then that I could probably set it up. I want to touch the Spirit Realm. How much do I care if they trade here and get a 2/2? They trade here, like it trades. Yeah, you know what? Take my fucking money. I could flicker this and then give them the 2/2, then exile that. But I think I want to save this for like an Animate Dead. You know, if I can. I guess the same goes for this. I'm okay making this trade. I'm just gonna play my cards. Yeah, I'm going to try to... I would like to make it out to CubeCon. I haven't talked about me going to CubeCon like as a creator officially yet, but I talked to I've talked to John a bit. Like John Terrell. He was hanging out in our channel when we were drafting the his cube that was up on Moto. The Cartographia cube. I like that cube. We drafted that cube a lot when it was out too. But yeah, I would love to go. I mean, I like going to the Midwest too. Yeah, the big cartography cube. Getting back, they're casting Death on Torak because it's a pro-black creature. That's pretty good. A pro-white creature. God. Could you imagine how quick these games would be if if I was on more than like 5 hours sleep? All right, protect the Othari. Yeah, Othari's putting in work here. I gotta tell you, I don't want to talk about too many things for too many like inside baseball you know, discussions that publicly. I don't want to bring them up publicly because I don't want to get into shit or accidentally break an NDA or anything like that. I'm going to be traveling a lot in 2024. I traveled a lot in 2023. Excuse me, but I'm going to be traveling a lot in 2024. And one way or another, I'm confirmed for Chicago. One way or another, I'm going to be in Amsterdam. And when I'm in Amsterdam, I'm going to be in Germany as well. So around MagicCon Amsterdam, I'd like to go to Frankfurt and Berlin. Spend some time in Germany. But I would also like to, yeah, I'd like to go to CubeCon and Eternal Weekend. Those are two that are on my radar. Ooh. This doesn't really scream vintage cube hand, huh? But we do have like a sick combo. Like Smuggler's Copter Inti is pretty strong. I'm gonna keep. We have 2 pieces of removal as well, although we can't cast one of them. I'm gonna keep this hand. Looking to, I mean, obviously drawing a Mox is pretty good. Drawing, you know, I'll take a 1-drop. My opponent's Fast Bond Gaming, but they mulliganed. So unless they have a draw 7 to back this up, I'm like, this is kind of scary, obviously, and considering, yeah, that's the best draw considering how slow this hand is. I don't think you mulligan this hand though. Like we have Copter plus Inti, which can churn through our deck. We have Winds of Abandon if they like ramp out like a big threat or a combo piece creature. Fastball, I'm fine with this. If this was a Courser of Crewfix, I might consider casting a Winds of Abandon, but nah, it's fine. We don't even need to Inti next turn. We can Sunbaked Canyon, Rabble Master, make a token, crew the Copter with the token, which is kind of hot. Ooh, okay. Well, who knows what I have planned. All right, never mind. We're back on the Inti train. Would like to get a mountain for this Mind Collapse, though. Just in case. Uh-huh. You think you got a combo? Nuh-uh. I've got a combo. Straight out of Pioneer, baby. Probably. I don't know. I don't follow Pioneer. Yeah, this could probably... If you told... Actually, you know what? I'm going to say that this is a Pioneer combo. I'm going to say that this is a Pioneer combo. People are doing this in Pioneer. Surely. There's like a Boros Legends deck, right? I'm going to discard this. I would like to hit a mountain if I'm looking to cast or play a land off this. Rabbit. I don't think I want to Inti just yet. Not here. I got a land drop that I can make. I kind of want to keep all these cards. Maybe I could get rid of Mind Collapse. But like I can make my land drop here. We lose my rabbit, which is a little awkward, but that's fine. We got to loot. We got a free peek at a card. Wabbit season. It was rabbit season, but thankfully I changed the sign around to be duck season. I don't think anybody noticed. Certainly not that hunter, that bald hunter. Huh. I feel like I might just Chandra the Dryad. Inti plus Copter's like a, you know, we're churning through our deck. We're hitting lands. We're We're trying to jam our powerful stuff. My opponent's not doing shit. You know, I think I'm okay. They could have a kill spell for the copter right here. Which would be a little annoying. But then that lets us cast Chandra, kill this, and then cast Chandra, kill this next turn Othari. Which is pretty good. Ooh, I do like Cathar Commando. I think I'm getting rid of this Mind Collapse. That's a good card for me to poop on. I don't think I'm inting. How scared of this fast bond am I? Like, I could play this Selfless Spirit. Ooh, they took fire. Are you casting Dismember? Oh, Fire Covenant. Well, I guess they have to do it now. Yeah. Is Inti Constructed playable? Yeah. This card has showed up in Standard. It's shown up in Pioneer. It's showed up in Fringe playable in Modern. I mean, we played in Canlander. For sure she's playing Gladiator. How scared of this fast bond am I? What are you gonna do? Fast bond me? I don't really like casting this is a little awkward. I could cast this plus Cathar Commando. Or I could just get your fixing off the table. Because evidently they do have black cards in their deck. And Othari just kills them very quickly. Ooh. Actually, hold up. Othari kills them, but this also can kill them. Go to Skyclave Apparition. Exile your fast bond. Or try to exile. Try to get rid of this fast bond. If they counter my Skyclave Apparition, I can play the Cathar Commando and then keep the Disenchant available if they try to draw 7 me. Or we Skyclave and we play Cathar Commando, keep up 1 mana to blow up another artifact or enchantment. And then we untap and kill them with Othari. Or this dies. Then we have a 3/3/2 damage, and then Othari is lethal if we draw a land. We got options. I love options in Magic the Gathering. It's my favorite thing. Somebody sent me a picture of a husky. Okay, I'm gonna share this with the class. Mystic Confluence. Ooh, okay. Interesting. And they're not like bouncing. You don't want to bounce this? You don't want a 1/1? Okay, well that's draw. That's not a draw sum, but it's drawing cards. Okay, so I woke up this morning later than I wanted to, especially because I didn't sleep. And then I was like, fuck, I gotta post that I'm going to stream at like 9. Because if I don't, then I'm screwed. And I was like, this is how I'm going to hold myself accountable. I'm going to make a post. It's like, hey, I'm going to stream, but I'm still in bed. But like, I'm doing this because then if I don't do it, then I'm screwed. Walter's not angry. She's just in the middle. I was about to take a photo and I was going to scritch her head and she went, ow, at me. And this is very cute. This is I mean, it's a very, very nice little photo. And then this is just really funny to me because I can't tell if this is like an original post or not, you know? And if it is, then I don't want to roast this person for some dry ass spaghetti. Like, is this an original post? I'm going to have to like reverse Google search this to figure it out. But it's just so funny. Like this dog is just plain spaghetti and rice. Yeah, that's what I'm talking. That's what I'm saying. Like I think there's a light coating of a sauce on there. It looks original. It is. That's pretty great. That's pretty great. Okay, they got Cobra. One of their other cards is a land. And if they're fetching with this Cobra, oh, am I getting hit with a draw 7? Then they shuffle. If this is a draw 7, then they shuffle these lands back into their deck. I could be getting hit with Upheaval. Regrowth the Mystic Confluence. Okay. Oh. That's a bit of a tough spot for us, huh? Ooh. Thraben Inspector? Yes, please. I'm not going to Athari here because this is how we die Parappa. Also a Malamet? Whatever. There's no way they're not just going to Mystic Confluence to draw cards. They can bounce my Skyclave if they want. Which I'm still a little worried, right? They have a bunch of mana. They're going to get 3 fresh cards. Difference between a Malamut and a Husky. Look, they're all dogs. They come from the same place. Oh, you're wow, bounce, bounce, draw. They're looking to kill Chandra, I guess. I don't know about that. I think I like the draw 3. Because they can kill my Chandra here. And then I can Othari into Thraben Inspector. And Othari's just going to make quick work of them. Chandra is annoying and like slowly chips away at my opponent. But we could be dead here. Like we could, yeah, we could die. I've died from less. So I guess what I'm trying to say. Please don't let your last card be a counterspell. They can't cryptic me. Could be days. I'm still jamming the Thraben Inspector. Wow, they're not double blocking. Interesting. Like double block, I mean, I guess this just repeatedly makes things, but like if they're trying to get this off the board, you probably want to get the Rebels off the board too. I guess I don't know what their hand is or what their deck has, but it gives me some context. You're building a Jasmine Boreal of the 7, and I'm shocked by the lack of overstatted vanillas in green-white. Yeah, they don't make vanilla creatures anymore. Ooh. Hull Breacher? Yeah, they definitely have a draw 7 in here, right? Like they got Fastbond, they got Dryad, they got Breacher. We are in a spot where like a draw 7, if they, please don't rip a, do you rip a Memory Jar? Or you spin in the wheel with Urza? And you're spinning the Urza wheel. Huh! That's a Teferi. That's a pretty good Magic card. I feel like I'm gonna Skyclave this Hull Breacher. Talisman. Yeah. 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 You can attack me, opponent. Don't you want to attack me? Oh. Well, they're attacking me. Okay. Can I just kill you? If I Skyclave, remove this blocker, I get another 2/2, so they're at that, but then they have blockers, so they're not dying. But I can Skyclave. I'm gonna Skyclave the Hull Breacher. Over the Urza. Because we have... Do I have Fire Blast in my deck? I still have Mind Collapse. Everybody in. What up, Pop's Not Dad? How you doing? Do I like this cube more than the regular vintage cube? I mean, it's... Oh, right, you get them for every experience counter. Fuck. So I should have exiled the thing. I gotta tell you, I usually if this card resolves and I get to attack with it, they're dead. So yeah, I killed the wrong thing. I forgot about the experience counter. I may have just cost myself this game. A second time. Well, it's in God's hands now. See ya, everybody. Fastbond is permanently exiled. We got this. We got Othari on the board. No possible play. Yield all. Yeah, I don't know. I like this cube. I don't know if I would just like... If you gave me the opportunity to make this the default vintage cube, I don't know if I would necessarily go through with that. But that, you know, that's fine. Cubes always update, right? It's just like cubes... The exact list isn't as important to me as like the philosophy with changing the list over time. Okay, so there's the draw 7. We do have a burn spell in our hand now. Yeah, I think... Is this how you do it? I forgot how you do it. AlphaFrog cube. There's the AlphaFrog cube. You found the CDH deck for you? Well, what deck you playing? Vintage Cube Magic the Gathering Online Edition. And there's the normal one, which is actually coming out very shortly. I don't know if is there an article for it yet, because they're actually booting up the old school, like the old school. They're booting up the vintage cube once this one goes down, which is dangerous because I just want to draft cubed all I want to do is draft cube. Cube is so good for your soul. I can't stress this enough. Oh! Look at how they massacred my boy. Look at how they massacred my boy. Oh, now what am I going to just slam into every blue-red X deck? Oh, they got rid of... Man, the Dream Halls package was sick, too. This one I actually don't mind. This is... You know, it's a pain to click through. It's something that has gotten worse over the years, but at the same time, just like is not the most spectacular finish to a game. Do I have to block yet? No. Like it's... I get it. I get it. We should try to get a ladies cube draft pod. Yes. Yeah. That cube is sick, Angel. It's great. You spinning the Urza? You found a Leovold. Okay. I'm glad my large cube brain was able to like zone in on exactly what kind of bullshit my opponent was up to when they played The second that they had like Dryad of the Elysian Grove and Fast Bond in play, it's like, oh, I know what you're with this kind of mana. It's like, I know what you're doing. The Thassa's Oracle jump scare. Holy shit, you can Doomsday now? Ooh, well, time to draft some real bad decks. Oh, okay. I genuinely love the Fast Bond lands decks in Cube. They are, I like the Fast Bond draw 7 decks as well, but like all I think about is exploration and Fast Bond in Cube nowadays. Like there's just some cool shit that you can do. Hedron Crab is kind of interesting, especially because there's still Eldrazi running around. They activate the draw. Sure, just let me know when I get to take a game action. Oh, okay, I win. Tribe Elder's kind of funny, spelunking with the... He gets bounce lands. Oh, I'm curious as to what bounce lands they're putting in here. Are they just putting in like Growth Chamber, like all the green ones? This says green gets the bounce lands. So are we getting like Growth Chamber, Gruul Turf, Sanctuary, and Rot Farm? Okay, I like the Thopter Sword edition. That's kind of cool. It's a bit of a pain to click through, but it also just like, you can do some cool mid-range stuff with this. Territorial Kavu is kind of neat. I like it. These are just cards that'll go extremely late in the pack. Oh, I know the game's over. It's precisely why I'm doing this. And then some other changes. They're cutting a Danto Vanguard. Or the other one. Do I want Winter Orb? I kind of want Winter Orb in this match. Fire Blast seems to get some added tech here. Maybe I cut Mind Collapse. Ranger Captain's kind of funny. But it's also just kind of slow. Oh, maybe Touch is worse. Touch. Back Ranger Captain. Ranger Captain can work against the draw 7s. Zatic Ending deals with Fast Bond stuff. But yeah, I'll send this back. Yeah, we won. We won. That's why they call me Huihor. Because we won. Boon. Yes. The classic Armageddon for Restless Bivouac. Armageddons are out. Yeah, Armageddons are really weird now. I used to like having Armageddons as like a kind of like bring the hammer down kind of card. But they've lost a little juice. They've lost some juice. I kept this hand because I have a 1-2. I have a 1 and a 2 and a 3. And I can Magda out my Othari pretty quickly, which is kind of hot. Boonbringer Valkyrie out for the big boat. I like this. This card didn't really do anything. You know what? I'm gonna save this for tomorrow's stream when I'm going to actually do this. Oh, this is kind of upsetting. Oh no! Ooh, Aether Spellbook. Okay, some good stuff. There's some good stuff in here, but there's also some like classic, like not boomer cards necessarily, but there are cards that are getting cut, and it just hurts. Like Thirst for Discovery getting cut. I really like that card. I know I said I wouldn't do this, and then now I'm doing it again, but I really like Thirst for Discovery as a card for the like 2-color decks. It's just like it's a good card for the Reanimator strategies. It's a reasonable card, I guess, for some of the Reanimator strategies, some of the like slower ones with the Reanimator package. But this one, where'd it go? I mean, I hate that we're losing Dream Halls, but I like that we're losing it for at least show and tell. Brawl for Crab is kind of funny. Where did it go? There was one that I saw. Oh, yeah, we're losing Opposition. For Tezzeret, admittedly. Opposition is just not what it used to be, but it's still a card where... Oh, fuck. Well, hold on. We have Cathar Commando. Also, did you just, like, hard tech into an Oath deck? Are you just going to Oath? They could have Echo of Eons in their deck, and they could just be Oathing into Leovold. Oath into Leovold's kind of funny. Because like you oath into your Leovold, and if then your opponent's oath triggers, they have to target you, and then you draw a card. Depending on what they get off this oath, you know, I'm already committed to this line. But this is another reason to bring in Prismatic Ending. They could have just like made a massive cut. Oh my god, it fucking happened. Oh my god, it happened. Please don't Wheel of Fortune me here. If they Wheel of Fortune me, I'm just going to concede. And I think I should bring in the, that was a literal top card. For that. Yeah, I'm going to concede. All right, I'll save us some time. Good beats, opponent. Good beats. So I guess there's a bit of a consideration for touch in these kind of spots. I'm going to bring in that Prismatic Ending. Maybe I like the touch too. I want to make sure that I'm not cutting too many creatures. Winds of Abandon. It's a little slow. Doesn't get the Hull Breacher. Music stopped. Oh, it's because I was looking up. I was looking up the fucking dogs. I'll keep this. We got Fire Blast. I will Fire Blast the Hull Breacher in response to a draw 7. My opponent's deck seems pretty tight. They have Twister and Wheel of Fortune and Leovold with Hull Breacher. That's pretty scary. Yeah, the ambient music is nice because I have like plausible deniability. They're like, the music stopped. And it's like, no, it didn't. No, it's just quiet. Yeah, the Oath of Druids caught me off guard, but you know, that's okay. That's okay. Now we're just playing an entirely different deck. Bone Crusher's also good against Hull Breacher here. If they end up having Hull Breacher as their don't draw cards. I'm a little worried about Bowmasters. Oh, they keep a... Oh, they must have like a one-lander Oath. You going to get... What, do you got a Mana Drain in your hand? Oh, you discarding into a Reanimate line? Whoa. Okay, well... Don't entirely understand what's going on, but that's okay. I'm going to try to kill my opponent. Speaking of CDH, Magda's a CDH deck that I'd be interested in playing. It's right up my alley. I like these these goofy little, these quirky little goofsters. My preferred like CDH commanders are the, you know, that image of like a woman in like a grocery store that has like a bag of frozen peas like she's holding on her head, and the caption's just like, oh my god, I love this woman. She's just so out there and it's just like, huh? That's me looking at commanders for CDH. It's just like, oh, this Kinnan is so kooky. That's it? What'd you keep? God, in spots like this, I want to be able to... There should be a button. There should be a button that you can press that just says, like, I need to see what you kept. And not in, like, an asshole way, but I just need to see what you kept. I gotta understand what's going on here. You know? I don't understand. Yeah. Cheeky little trophy. I don't think we have 5 trophies. I haven't had enough time to draft. Oh yeah. The content keeps coming. I think this is our second Planeswalker deck Planeswalker that we've opened, which is kind of funny. That's pretty funny. We got the Earwig, the Squad. Back in my day, when you could play goblins in Vintage, people would play the squad. It was very funny. You'd play one of the squad because you could just like Lotus into this and just they're dead. You just exile their like, you hit their like ancestral, their time walk, and like their Yawgmoth's will or their tendrils, and it's done. All right. I have to call it there though, unfortunately, because I have another engagement. I have some lure business, some loading ready run business to attend to, for something that I can't talk about because it's a secret. But I can talk about this other piece of loading ready run business where in the evening, for Friday night paper fight tonight, so that would be at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we are doing a draft of basically everything that came out in 2023. So this is what we're doing. Tomorrow night on the Friday night paper fight, it's time for a trip down 2023 memory lane. One of each draft set and collector booster. So we're doing kind of a draft that's a recap of everything from 2023. And that'll be a lot of fun. Actually, you know what? I got a little bit of time here. I'm gonna talk about the cube cards too. I'm gonna talk about the cube cards. I got a little bit of time to talk about some of these cube changes. Elish Norn for Netocyst is fine. This card just Elish Norn is like it's not a good reanimation target, not a good sneak attack target. I like Netocyst is like a card that shows up and can just kill people. Tide Taker didn't really work out as a 2-drop. Luminarch Aspirant is like an absurd magic card, like a vintage playable card. Womans for Staff the Storyteller. I actually think that we should support Womans as much as we can. I'm being brave. Look at me. Look at me. Brawl for Crab, whatever. Consider for Thought Scour is kind of interesting. I guess, yeah, it helps enable some of their Doomsday lines, and it's very funny that it can just hit the like top of the deck. Exarch for Hull Breacher, yeah. Talked about the Dream Halls and the Show and Tell. Foff for Lose Focus. Lose Focus is a pretty powerful counterspell. Like it's picked up. It's being picked up in Canlander as kind of like one of the default counterspells that you can play. It does lose a little bit of, like, it's weird. I don't know how I feel about it in relation to Miscalculation for Cube, because a Miscalc, like, just firing it off when people tap out and like being able to cycle if you absolutely need to is kind of hot. But Miscalc is still in the cube as far as I can see. Just feels weird to have both. And we lose Foff, which Foff is pricey. Hullbreaker Horror for Psy. I kind of liked Hullbreaker Horror, honestly. We had some pretty cool Hullbreaker Horror combos that we got to play actually in this cube, where we had like the Hullbreaker Horror, our Candelabra back to play it and untap and like go kind of infinite or filter through our colors. But, you know, I mean, old man, take a look at my life. Oppo for Tez, Pestimite for True Name. This is fine. Image for Thassa's Oracle. Phantasmal Image is kind of weird. The clones are kind of weird right now. They just like, you need to be the one to clone stuff, and even then it's just never worth it. The Oracle Kill. I mean, who doesn't love Thassa's Oracle? Sower is, yeah, it's just like outmodded, and there's more Doomsday Kill. Stowaway and Malcolm, they're basically the same kind of thing. Malcolm is just kind of fun. It's a new card. It hits for more. You can cast a free spell, which is always kind of goofy. Svaeloon for Unctus. I mean, this just feels like neither of these cards get played at all, but you had to have something in here. It's weird. I always thought that Kira the Great Glass Spinner was an interesting 3 to play, because like, especially now that the like cube is more board based, right? And like every deck has threats and whatnot, and like that, because of that, you have cards like Fury and cards like Fire Covenant being really good. And so Kira fits that 3-drop blue card that like can smack in and also just like pairs interesting. Like it has an interesting like lineup with these cards that are really good in the cube. would like to see Cura in the cube instead of one of these, but I guess Unctus like plays into the fun stuff. Obviously Thirster Discovery, I kind of wish we could have Thirst, but they're just adding Intuition, so you can do some weirdo Intuition lines. If Savine's Reclamation is in the cube still, Intuition gets kind of interesting. Gear Hulk for Kappa Cannoneer. Yeah, this is very... Gear Hulk's not really cutting it. Kappa is just like an absurd magic card. Cruise for Gush. This is kind of funny. It says it right here. Del spells are pretty hard to enable. I'm going to link this in chat too, because it's interesting to read through all of this. I mean, Gush is a broken magic card. Works with the Doomsday line. It's a little more difficult to get going unless you have like a reason to be gushing, or if you're like a low curve, like I guess low curve like Blue X tempo, getting Gush is kind of fun. So there's that. Venser, yeah, it's very, I don't know. The only time I've had Venser and I'm like, this is cool, is when I was like, if I played like I needed another top end for like a Fallen Shinobi deck, or if you have like the Ephemerate kind of deck, and then even then it's not great. Bizarre Baghdad is an interesting magic card that is just really hard to support. And they're cutting it for Currency Converter, which is a really interesting magic card that is really easy to support, and there's a lot of crossover, so that makes sense. Bitter Blossom is just one that is, yeah, Bitter Blossom for Valky. Valky's kind of interesting. I could see playing Valky in like some of the other, like that Rakdos deck that we had earlier. Like I could see Valky in that. Call the Ring for Doomsday. Call the Ring is like a card that is genuinely quite good, but it's, again, a bit harder to convince people to play, and you got to cut stuff for Doomsday. Custody Lich for Dreams of Steel and Oil. I'm a sucker for Custody Lich. Again, like that Rakdos deck we had, or like Orzhov, where you have these reanimation cards, but you also just need like, you're not like a reanimate deck. You just happen to have like Entomb plus Animate Dead and stuff. Like I liked Custody Lich. It was a cool card. Dreams of Steel and Oil, I guess, is kind of funny that you could just like, oh, you kept a Mox. You got jewelry? You got any jewelry I can take? Grass for Bitter Triumph. I like that. Bitter Triumph is great. They're pretty similar. There's some, again, they're not exactly the same card. This synergizes well with all the reanimation and graveyard-based stuff. Jadar for Torok. I like that. Kite Sail for Cavern Bat. I like that. Liliana for Contagion. I also like this. Contagion, it's a free spell. It's a powerful spell. And it doesn't feel, it's a blowout, but it also, Liliana the Last Hope's kind of weird because like this card is just, either you have it and you just like completely just ranch your like Llanowar Elf opponent, or it just kind of is awkwardly doing nothing until you're like, yes, I killed my opponent's Baleful Strix. Now I can attack you. It's fine. It's Liliana. It's a good card, but not here. Massacre Worm for Massacre Girl. I don't know how often either of these cards are going to get played. I played Massacre Worm. It was like a nice sideboard pickup. It kind of did what you wished Elshnorn would do, where like you would just get it as a sideboard pickup, or like be like, oh, well, my opponent just made a bunch of like almost infinite 1/1s. I'm going to Massacre Worm you. It's kind of funny with Fourth Aerolingus too, because like this can just like destroy people after they Fourth Aerolingus. I mean, they're still going to be fine. Rider for Virtue. I don't know. This card I've never really picked. I don't like this card, but it's a new card, so I guess it's fun to try it. But Rider is, you know. Una's Prowler for Rain of Filth. Rain of Filth is kind of, Prowler is just like such a bad magic card. Filth can let you do some combo stuff, but Filth feels, I don't know. It's kind of weird to see Prowler go, because it was like a card that you always saw in Vintage Cube, and you're like, yeah, I guess I have to play Prowler here because I'm playing, you know, the Fallen Shinobi deck, or I have like a Reanimator deck, but I don't have enough outlets and all that. Wishclaw for Beseech I like Bitter Reunion and Inti. Kind of wish we had both. Char for Flame Slash. Great. Flame Slash is a hell of a magic card. Desperate Rid for Bergie. Sure, why not? DFD for Kenra. I like DFD as a sideboard card, and it's like a reasonable magic card to play in these red decks. Kenra is okay, but I don't know. I kind of, This feels like I wish we could do something different. Goblin Guide for Soul Scar Mage. Yeah, Goblin Guide is not what it used to be. Like, red aggro decks are still good in the cube, but it's not the red aggro that you would think it is, you know? Soul Scar at least has more play in like the blue-red or like red X decks, but I get it. I get it. Rabble Master for Najila. I don't know how I feel about this. This feels like they're trying a new package out here with like the domain cards and like the with the domain cards and the warriors, I think is what they mentioned. But this just feels, Rabble Master is just so much better and has like a much more interesting dynamic with how it works as to both counterplay and like how it makes tokens. And I'm a little hesitant to talk about this like supposed domain archetype where like getting to this activation, I don't know how often that's happening. I guess it's aspirational to build to that, which is neat. That's a good thing for this kind of design. But I foresee a lot of it going to be like, okay, I have a mana base where I can develop a territorial Kavu and then find a Triome and I can hit you for 5 or whatever, which is cool. But at the same time, if you have a mana base with these Triomes and hit domain and fetch lands, I don't know if I'm going to Najila as the thing I want to do. I'm going to, you know, the most powerful cards in the pack and, you know, probably trying to do something degenerate. Recruiter for Dragon Engine. Yeah, you're losing the twin package. This kind of makes sense. Incinerate for Tribal Flames. I don't really like this. I like Incinerate. It's just like, this is actually the like most mid card that can just go into any deck playing red and it's fine. Kiki Jiki for the Carnosaur. Love the Carnosaur. This card is great. The discard a thing, 7/6, discover 5. Great card. Cool to reanimate. Just like reasonable to have in the sneak attack decks too. Kamana for Epicure, sure. Light of the Sage for Questing Druid, sure. Mana Flare for Engineer. Yeah, I played with the Engineers a bit. I don't like it was cool because we had the Welder, the Engineer, Welder Engineer, and the Dragon Engine deck with the Basalt Monolith Zerda combo, and that was okay. Like I think we trophied with that. It felt all right. But you know, I don't know. I'll see how it works out with the Sword of the Beak combo and stuff, but it felt like we were kind of getting away with murder. Mind Claps for Pyrokinesis? Sure, why not? This does kill Shieldred, which is really nice. I kind of like that it kills Shieldred. I'm a little worried that we're losing cards to kill Shieldred for red, but you know. Mizium Mortars is fine. Delayed Blast Fireball is kind of interesting. This is a card that saw a bit of play in Canlander when it came out. It's yeah, you can just like cast it as like a instant speed, like it's like a volcanic fallout that can also just like dome people for a bunch. Mastery for Synthesizer, sure, why not? Warcrafting, terrible card. Pyrite Spellbomb, okay, can't help but notice there's no Oriox Salvagers here though, right? We're not bomber manning. Great. Oh, I like Mom and Pop Thopter Shop and Braze Apprentice, but I guess you could have only so many cards. We're just doing Pyretic Spellbomb for Rite of Flame, sure. Steamkin for Firebrand, yeah, Sponge Flame, we see that. Squee for Gut. I do like Gut. Gut can sacrifice an artifact, which is kind of cool. Squee is pretty interesting. Sulfuric Vortex is out. Yeah, we talked about this when we drafted that Boros deck, where I'm like, Vortex used to be this card where you're like, oh, we got the Vortex in this red deck, it's over. I have very fond memories of ignoring my family on Christmas Day and just racking up trophies with like Sulfuric Vortex and just being like, these people are like, I can wheel this Vortex. They don't even know. You idiot. You know, you idiot. You let me wheel the Bogart Ram Gang. You're so dead. Frostdawn's a pretty cool magic card though. Hellkite for Embercleave, that's fine. Thundermar Hellkite's the worst kind of dragon. Glorybringer and Goldspan. Goldspan's the best one, I think, but Conscripts for FTK. I did like Conscripts. Conscripts was kind of neat, but I guess losing the threat of the Kiki package, it makes sense. Love an FTK. Love an FTK. Arborel for Arboreal Grazer. Well, are you keeping in Utopia Sprawl? Excuse me. No, they're cutting Utopia. Wait, they're cutting Utopia Sprawl, right? I'm reading this right. They're cutting Utopia Sprawl? Utopia Sprawl was great. That's a little disappointing. But I guess this makes more sense. Pod, yeah, Pod was useless. Sentinel was great. You're cutting Opposition and the Hermits are just not great, and you already have Deep Forest Hermit. Gargs for Oer Kozlim. I've considered playing this card. Gargaroth is fine. I think this is okay. Yeah, well, Finale was an infinite mana combo that killed. Force of Vigor for Nature's Claim. I don't hate this. I don't hate having both, but you know, that's a lot. Queen for the Gruff triplets. Yeah, the triplets weren't great. Invasion of Ikoria, that kind of fills. Oh wait, no, they're cutting. No, they're cutting. They're cutting this. So, right, they're cutting the Force of Vigor for Nature's Claim. Okay, I'm getting all topsy-turvy over here. This is okay. I like both. Force of Vigor is expensive, but Claim can just things, which I appreciate. And they're cutting Invasion. So they cut Finale and Invasion, which is kind of weird. I like keeping one of them. I mean, they're not great. Green Sun is the best, obviously, but I could see keeping Finale because of the infinite mana kill or whatever. Cobra. Yeah, I like Cobra. Tree Speaker is getting cut. Oh, the Soul Ring. You're cutting my Oath of Druids too? Oh, come on, ref. Prismatic Omen? Nobody's playing this shit. Nobody's playing this shit. They're playing this guy, the Vascular Dryad. Where'd he go? They're playing the Dryad of the Elysian Grove. He's in here somewhere. Oh, he's right down here. Cutting Regrowth? No, I like Regrowth. I love Regrowth. Regrowth for the Underworld Breach decks and the Time Lock decks. Once Upon a Time, yeah, Survival's kind of bunk. I like Once Upon a Time. Thrun wasn't that bad, but I do like Tarmogoyf. We talked about this. I cast Workshop Warchief once and I hated it. Astral Dragon? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, Infinite Dragons with Parallax Wave. Random Realmbringer, card stinks. Court of Garenbrig, this card's messed up. Soul Herder package is getting cut for Tamashi. Tamashi can do some wild stuff. Urza's, wait, no, Lord Protector. I don't give a shit about this. Shorakai is a messed up magic card. Excited for this. Scarab God for Sunken Ruins, sure. Thief of Sanity for Kaido. Yeah. Kaido, I like Kaido. I really like Kaido. Kaido can go in the Fallen Shinobi deck that Thief of Sanity already goes in, but it can also just like fit in the like ahead of the curve Planeswalker / Reanimator stuff. Trophy for Witherbloom. Trophy is a little awkward. Witherbloom again has a bit more play to that. I liked Fiend Artisan. I thought Fiend Artisan was a neat card to have, so I've never cast this Dread Knight in Cube. Probably never will. Oh, they're cutting some of the talismans. Interesting. Growth Chamber. Vraska. Yeah, that's fine. Kogla and Yodaro for Kavu. You're cutting Talisman of Impulse? Are they just cutting the green talismans for the appropriate? Shattered Sanctum. It's just a land. Talismans are a bit less desirable. No, I love the talismans. I think talismans are in an interesting place where the blue X talismans are, hold on. No. Here, I'm about to drop my Wheeler Wisdom. I think that the blue X talismans are pretty good, and I don't want to say they're overrated. They're pretty good, and they're good because they add blue, right? And that often, like the decks that care about having a bunch of artifacts are also going to care about having blue mana. But I like the non-blue talismans because a lot of these decks also just like play a lot of splashes, right? We were talking about like the Tolarian Academy plus Bowmasters, Shieldred Leovold kind of deck. And so having like Talisman of Resistance or like Impulse or whatever, like I like those because they up your artifact count. They let you play to your splashes. They just fix your mana. I kind of like having them. So I think that the blue talismans are like pretty highly rated. I'll say adequately rated, maybe a bit overrated at times if you're not using them for degenerate stuff or fixing. But I think the non-blue talismans are kind of underrated. They're undervalued in a lot of decks, mostly because your average drafter doesn't try to like go for some aggressive splashes, or like they'll look at like 5 lands and be like, I can't splash a color. It's like, you got like 12 sources. Secretly, you have 12 sources. You could splash this card. And kind of talisman. Duretti. I liked Duretti. The Vile Smasher. Croxa is out for Molten Collapse. Sure, Croxa was okay, but how do I read them versus Signets? I haven't played with Signets and Cube for what feels like 3 years now. Aside from like the occasional like high power cube, like vintage cube, but like really high powered degenerate stuff. I remember them being better than Signets. Or I remember Signets being better than Talismans. They just make the cost of inclusion is like pretty low. But also like nowadays, because you have Retrofitter Foundry and like Currency Converter and cheaper cards, like there is some charm to like Talisman and be able to tap it immediately for something. Sphinx for Rallier, that's fine. Renegade Rallier has some cool play with Fetches Strip has some cool play with with Underworld Preach and stuff too. I'd have on him for Bosley. Ooh, the Bosley's back, baby. Love to see it. Torsten is great for Flash. Love Torsten. Sigarda just never saw play. Voice out for Absence Pilgrim. I really like Voice of Resurgence. I thought Voice of Resurgence was a cool card to pick up for the sideboard. And like just you'd occasionally play it in like a green-white X deck. Keenan got cut. Oh, the Keenan combo is pretty cool. Bring to Light is kind of neat though. You can do a lot of degenerate stuff with Bring to Light. The ultimatums are out. They mentioned it. Kenenrith, although I don't even know what the Weatherseed Treaty is, but I assume it's... Oh, is this the stupid... Yeah, this card's bad. Leovold is out. Holy fuck. Okay. For Soul Windgrace. This card's not bad for Cube, but... I know we have Shieldred, Hullbreacher, and Orcish Bowmasters as kills with the draw 7, but Leovold is like... I know it's a lot of mana, but Leovold's great. I really like Leovold. Kind of unfortunate. Confluence for Valakut, sure. Sphinx of the Steel Wind is out. Yeah, obnoxious sideboard card. The Soul Cauldron is out, but if you're not playing the Heliod package and stuff, and even then it's kind of whatever. Hearse is fine. Sheldock Isle's back, baby! Yeah, City of Traders, get fucked. Where are you? You're not Ancient Tomb. College of Complete is out for Sword of the Meek. College of Complete is out. Really awkward because you need Stoneforge and that's it. The Jewel, love the Jewel. Manifold Key, I like the key. Relicans, yeah, whatever. I guess this is nice because you don't muck your own graveyard. Sad Robot for Roaming Throne. I'm not going to play either of these, I gotta imagine. And Ulamog is out. Huh. For Cityscape Leveler. I liked Ulamog. Like you could sneak attack Ulamog. Roaming Throne is this like commander card. Roaming Throne is like the archetypal like example of cards that you can print to sell standard packs to commander players that will feature rares that will not impact standard. Yeah. Okay. Overall, there are a lot of changes that I like. There are a lot of changes where I'm like, you know, it's temporary or whatever. It's interesting. They get to show off some stuff, but I'm excited. I'll draft more Vintage Cube. I could always draft more Vintage Cube. I am going to be drafting, or I am going to be playing some Gladiator and some Canadian Highlander, obviously, in between all this, but fuck, there's just so much stuff that you can do right now in Magic. Like, there's so much stuff. I'm going to call it there, though. CardKingdom.com sponsor the channel. ManaTraders.com sponsor the channel. Use those links. Again, I'm going to be over at twitch.tv/loadingreadyrun in 5 hours from now, or 4.5 hours. Also, if you missed the Lethal Company stream, the VOD is going to be up. The VOD is going to be up like right now. So you can check the YouTube channel for the Lethal Company stream and yesterday's Cube stream. Let's go say hi to Amy, who is on the Lethal Company stream and is playing Magic the Gathering right now. And I'll see y'all later or tomorrow because I'm streaming again. Okay, bye. Ooh, Mulder.